Hi everyone, it's Killshot from 99 Gaming, and this is The Walking Dead Season 7, The Cell, reactions and chat, and just got to say, pretty incredible episode tonight. See a few people in chat that I recognize, so tonight we're going to talk a little bit about the episode, a few of the call-outs. We'll do a little bit of Q&A. We'll talk about your questions. Just want to see who we got. We'll take a little quick roll call here in a second or two, and I'll get some of your thoughts about, just what you guys thought of the episode tonight. Looks like we got Lewis Tiger in the house. Jacob Tally, what's going on? Who else we got here? Let me see some 999s up in chat. Get a little bit of the chat working here. Looks like a few more people are starting to log on. I got to update my screen. Give me 1 second. Hey, what's going on? Mining Wolf, Alex Santos, Dario Rivera. I'll start out. I got people typing Easy Street already, so yeah, no doubt. This song's going to stick. I'm going to be dreaming about that song tonight. Hey, what's going on? Looks like, it's a good time to do this because we get the episode and we get a little bit of Talking Dead and we get to sort of recap and unwind and talk about some analysis and all those things that were going on. Yeah, that song was creepy, wasn't it? No doubt. Absolutely. What's up, Nathan? Of course you can get a shout out. Anna, what's up? Dark Ninja. So yeah, we're gonna talk about some things. I'll throw some topics out there like softballs, and you guys just knock them out of the park. I'm gonna start. What'd you guys think of the episode? First of all, I'm gonna say this was one of the best episodes that I've seen as far as character development. I kind of needed this. The first week was we kind of knew what was going to happen, and then last week was we were sort of introduced to some new people, and tonight we got a little bit of old Daryl back, kind of that stubborn Daryl. They're trying to break him and they can't. Get a little bit of Negan's backstory, get a little bit of Sherry and Dwight, and we finally heard, I guess, the official name, Sherry. She's been referred to as her nickname Honey and also Sherry, and Dwight is now D. So yeah, I can't wait for the 90-minute episode either, Randy. It's gonna be really, really good. I like that sneak peek there at the end. So it looks like the consensus here, a lot of people were, it's intense. So this seems to be a pretty popular episode. Even a little bit ago on Talking Dead, they were talking about how dark it was, and I think it did have that element. It just shows you the group of saviors, they're always a step ahead. I mean, they left the door unlocked. And initially you're thinking like, okay, it's a mistake and Daryl's breaking away, but you knew it's all part of the bigger plan. Negan's always trying to get that psychological advantage on people. Yeah, I guess at this point, I thought that too. Like, what is Daryl living for? He's torturing himself. He thinks he deserves to be imprisoned and eating those sandwiches. So I don't think he wants to live, and I don't think he wants to die. I think he's just somewhere in between. Yeah, but it's bad news. So if you missed the sneak peek for next week, it was short. But it was, and I'll go real quick so you guys can watch it a little bit later on. So it is Michonne going back to her and Rick's house, and she's got like a sniper rifle hidden in the fireplace. She packs it up and she's heading out, and Rick looks too broken, too weak to stop her. Randy Boyski says, "Do you think the A on his shirt stands for Alexandria?" No, actually, I think, and I've heard this several times, I think it stands for asshole. A few people talked about it as a joke, but I really think that that's what they label him as right now. So everybody, who's Team Negan in here? We got a few Team Negans. So a few more shout outs. I'm going to read a couple of your questions. Logan's like, my heart stopped. Your heart must have stopped so many times because you really thought Daryl was going to get Lucille there for a second, didn't you? It would have been shocking. The common sense, the logic side of me tells me it's not going to be Daryl, but Negan gets that look on his face and just, yeah. He goes from hot to cold really quick, like, I'm not going to kill you, and then starts rearing it back and then stops it. So yeah, I didn't think he was going to die, but it kind of got a little. It pushed me to the edge right there. Let me tell you. So we kind of knew Gordon, and I was doing my prediction video earlier this week. I guess I was kind of right because I said he would spare Gordon, and I guess by shooting him, that was kind of him sparing him. He let him think he was walking away, and then just shot him in the back. So I guess that was really like the best way for Gordon to die. He didn't see it coming. So what do you guys want to start with tonight? Let's I guess the meaning behind the sandwich. You know, we saw the sneak peek. So, and who's the guy? Some guy was arguing with me, and I said, Dwight's eating a sandwich, and he goes, he's not eating a sandwich. Where are you gonna get bread in a zombie apocalypse? I'm serious. This guy actually left a comment on one of my videos, and that's what he said. I was like, of course they have bread. I mean, Carol's been baking cookies for how long? They got dough. They got wheat. But we saw the extent of that sandwich. It was this is one thing I love about Walking Dead. They just don't make a sandwich. They actually show you all the layers of that sandwich. It's kind of like, did you see the Burger King commercial? The two guys sitting there. He's like, this is the ground floor, and the bacon is like the penthouse or whatever. That's the way I felt like when I was watching that sandwich. I felt like it was a Burger King commercial, and they were just showing each layer. The pickles, the mustard, the eggs, where the tomatoes come from. And I think that was what was so wonderfully done about that episode is all the sacrifice and all the beat downs that had to be administered in order to make that sandwich. And then with Daryl, it's the opposite. It's like, let's throw some dog food on some bread. Yep. What was I'll give you guys my highlight of tonight's episode as we talk about it and give you my reaction. There were two things that jumped out to me that were just really, really awesome. Like, it got me on edge. So let me read some of your comments, and then I'm going to tell you the two things that really jumped out for me. Yeah, looks like a lot of people are saying this was an awesome episode. This, I don't know. I mean, to me, this was one of the best ones I've ever seen. I know season one was great, or I'm sorry, episode one, not season one. The first episode was really good, but this one, I was expecting it to be good, but I think the backstory is what made it awesome for me. Beat down sandwich. Nice, Leslie. We're gonna call that a beat down sandwich. I'm gonna tell you in a second. I'm gonna tell you guys there were two things that jumped out to me as exactly what I liked, but I want to see a few of your comments, and I'm gonna read them. Becca, I think the color red is going to be important, and I think the number 39 or Dwight's area. Yeah, we're going to get into some hidden stuff tomorrow. I got a few things, but I'm going to wait until the video tomorrow. I got to do a little bit more investigative research. Few people. Joshua says he likes how good Negan's acting is. Randy, who do you think will get Lucille next? I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a prediction as well, too, of something that I think can break Daryl. Christian Reynoso. How you doing, Christian? we got people singing Easy Street. Actually, you know what? There's three things. I'm going to add a third thing to it. All right, so the most powerful part to me of the entire show tonight was when Negan asked Daryl what his name was. That that blew me away because I was expecting him to finally say Negan, to play along, to buy in. I really thought he was going to play that game, and then it's so typical Daryl when he said Daryl. That floored me because part of me wanted him to kind of play along and fake it. Yeah, there you go. A couple people are actually typing that, like, what's your name? So that was part number one. So the second most impactful part of tonight's show was was the corridor scene between Sherry and Dwight. I thought that corridor scene was excellent because she's smoking. So, and I mentioned this in a prediction video before. So you assume she's having a after sex cigarette, and then Dwight just happens to walk up, and it's like, how you been? I'm fine. How are you? It's just casual talk back and forth. But then Dwight in that scene in the corridor, um, they're basically trying to justify how everything happened, and he said it's better than dying. And I think that's the first part where you see Dwight's weakness throughout the whole thing. He's put up this just facade. He's got these barriers that he's built up, convincing himself that he has to do this and live this certain life to stay alive. So he's kind of admiring Sherry from a distance, and in that moment, it's like, can I have a cigarette? And I think Dwight opens up. That was a setup for Daryl a little bit later on, because that's the first time you really get into the whys and the hows, and you sort of forgive Dwight a little bit, but you're still thinking, well, Dwight still killed Denise, and could he have walked away? So now you're starting to understand every little thing that he did. And then the number 3 part was when Dwight's getting ready to walk away, and Daryl says, I understand why you did it. So now we've got he's admonished. I mean, at this point, all we have left to do is get Dwight back to that human. Is Dwight playing everybody? Maybe Dwight's a little smarter than we realize. Yeah, giving Glenn's picture as well too. You could see Daryl break down, and Dwight could have walked away, but he didn't. So I think Dwight being there, actually, you see a little bit of the emotions coming out of Dwight as well too. So Becca says that she liked Sherry talking to Daryl outside the cell. Yeah, that was a little bit of foreshadowing. I don't think that was intentional. When she said, you'll be sorry, I think it just kind of happened that way. And she's like, you're right. So, she knows that she's got to live kind of that double life as well, too. Where's Team Gordon at? Where's all the Gordon fans? Yeah, Eric says he thinks Dwight is trying to get Daryl to play ball so they can team up. So it's a good call out. We're going back and forth around a couple hundred people. If you guys could do me a favor, just slap the like button up in the top right corner. Just show a little bit of love. And also, request number 2, when this video goes live in about 30 minutes, if I don't answer your question or read your comment, if you guys can go over and leave your comment actually in the video, or just say something you liked about the chat, because once this goes live, there's going to be 10, 15, 20,000 people going to watch it after the fact. So this is kind of the initial viewing of it, but once it goes live, a lot more people are going to watch it. So they're not going to see all the questions that are going up and down the screen, because there's a lot of questions. Jordan wants to know, hey 99, do you think they will show Negan's other wives? I think so. I mean, we're going to see Negan with Olivia's going to become one of his wives. So Juzu Kathy, I love you 999, but why is it a question mark, exclamation point, question mark? It should be all question marks or all exclamation points. When you mix them, I'm confused. Yeah, Daryl cried hardcore. Well, he's got to forgive himself at some point. So, very interesting storyline could come out of this. So, Daryl's not going to say I'm Negan, right? What is it going to take for Daryl to, because, I mean, either he's going to end up in a cell, or he's going to end up dead, or he's going to play ball. So let me throw this out to the group. We know that there's a 90-minute episode next week. And apparently, spoiler alert, some of this is spoiler, some of this is prediction. So I'll kind of give it to you guys right now, and it will be in the prediction video. Because we know that Negan said that he'll basically bring Daryl back and have Rick chop him up in little pieces. So many words, right? So let's say Negan takes Daryl back to Alexandria and threatens Judith. Now, if that happens, does Daryl turn? Does Daryl say, I'm Negan? Because that would be the ultimate. I think that's enough to break him down. I think that's enough to make him join the other team, at least temporarily. We'll wait. I want to see a few of the thoughts there. Some people think Daryl's going to lose his arm. Nobody's losing an arm. Oh, I just got Daisy's like, no. I'm just saying, it could happen. It's going to have to be something really, really extreme to break Daryl down. He doesn't scare easily. You threaten little baby Judith, then yeah. What was the question? Let's see. Did Negan? Richard wants to know if Negan got Sherry pregnant. No, she wasn't pregnant. Oh man, it is a low blow, isn't it? Little ass kicker. Yeah, Daryl's seen enough. The next one will have to be. I don't think Daryl can watch any more death. Not another Lucille beatdown. And I got a feeling Negan. Well, I mean, Negan is knocking on the gate of Alexandria with Lucille, so he's going there to show it to somebody. Yep, Daryl's. Freya Lily said Daryl's going to have to fake it to make it. Yeah, I think so too. Chipper Smith wants to know, will Dwight help Daryl escape? So we'll start doing these every week. Angela Bynum says, I think when it comes to killing Negan, they all need to hit with Lucille, Maggie, Rick, Rosita. Yeah, they're going to have to put the group back together. And, you know, a lot of people do fan reaction videos where you get to see them like bawling while they're listening to Walking Dead in the background. That ain't going to happen here. But we will do these reaction videos, and the reason I want to do them is because we're all sort of doing the reaction video. Because you guys have just watched it, I just watched it, so we're all kind of comparing our ideas. So look for these weekly, and hopefully you guys will continue to join in. If you know people, you want to have them come in. Like I said, I'm going to read your questions. I'll give a little bit of my insight, my opinion. Maybe right, maybe wrong, but it's as much fun kind of reading your comments, and then if it doesn't happen, then I can kind of blame you, right? So you guys are doing the spoilers. I can go back and say, well, Amy Beer said that they were going to kill Father Gabriel, and it didn't happen. Amy, you're a bad predictor. No, I'm just making that up, but then you guys can kind of see how I feel. Heather Tyler, this is my first YouTube chat. Well, welcome. Glad you're here. It's a fun group. So what I'll try to do is just start doing this the same time every week, so that way when you guys are done with Talking Dead, we'll just sort of get together and sort of rehash it. Daryl Dixon says, I'm cold. You got clothes now, man. It shouldn't be the cold you're worried about. It should be those songs playing over and over in your head. Paula Meyer says they're all going to join up. They will. Yes. Albert in Texas. I love this. I love this reaction. I don't like the live reaction. I'm not a big fan of live reactions either. It's just something about that reality. They're faking it. Like something popped up in my recommended today about two chicks and some clown was in the background. I haven't figured that one out yet. Yeah, I did too. Amy, you missed a little bit of that because you just got here because your notification didn't go off. But yeah, that's one of the things we talked about is in the beginning. I really thought he was going to say I'm Negan too. P. Freed wants to see Mutiny from Within. We're starting to see it a little bit, aren't we? I mean, we saw a little bit with Gordon. Let's see. Carmen Lawrence, the guy who didn't lock the door. I'm surprised he didn't get punished for that. It was intentional. No, he wasn't going to be punished. They wanted, that was another test. It's testing Daryl to see if he was going to try to run for it, and he did. Because they had the bikes out there, and it was convenient. These guys know their stuff. Robert Wild says, bring Jesus in the fold now. Yeah, we got to get Jesus. We're going to see Jesus next week. Who is here is scared for Michonne after the sneak peek? I am. I really am. Because I saw that a couple weeks ago where she was up on top of the building. She was doing a little bit of sniping. And then tonight, when they did the episode, not the extended, not the sneak peek, but they showed a commercial. And in the commercial, they actually showed a little different scene of Michonne where she was walking. So I don't know if she's going to get caught, she's going to get busted, and Rick can't go through that right now. Rick's going through too much. So, Exuvium, why doesn't Daryl submit, then run away when he has the chance? I don't know. Because Daryl's just not good at playing ball. I mean, we saw that in the lineup, right? I mean, Daryl was there, and all he had to do was sort of keep his mouth shut, and we'd still have our pizza delivery boy, but he didn't. Daryl's got to play his character. And even tonight, he had a chance. All he had to do was say, I'm Negan, and he'd have been set up at the Four Seasons penthouse room, all set up for him. Negan was right there in his bedroom, like, check this out. This is all yours. All you got to do is just admit it. But here's the problem. Even if Daryl admits it, there's always part two. There's something else to it. And here's the thing also. So I am not referring I'm not referring to Sherry as Honey again. It was very awkward when I was calling her by her nickname, but now that they officially called her Sherry, yeah, I ain't calling her Honey anymore. Hamilton Dean, what do you think will happen with pigs? Will it start a virus? I don't think it's going to start a virus. I think it's going to get some people sick, and it's going to piss some people off. Yeah, Daryl, I don't know that Daryl wants to die. I said this earlier, and I don't think he wants to live. I think he wants to be punished. He feels guilty. Anybody here watch The Green Arrow? If you watch The Green Arrow, just leave it in the comments below. No, it's all good. Because I'm going to make a Green Arrow reference. It's too coincidental. Probably about a third of the people here might watch it, and then the other people are probably have no idea that The Green Arrow is actually a TV show on AMC. Or, no, on the CW. Getting my channels all mixed up. So, okay. Alright, we got a few people to watch Arrow. So, a couple weeks ago, John Diggle was in jail, right? And he didn't want to get out of jail because he killed his brother. Hopefully you guys aren't going back watching this on Netflix because I just ruined it for you. And Daryl is in the same situation as Diggle. He wants to be in that cell. If he wanted to die, he would have done something to get himself killed. But he's not afraid to die. And that's an awkward place to be in. Raging Happy. What's up, man? I'll give you a shout out. Angel Diaz. 999 Gaming, what's your name? Killshot. Last name Shot. Freya Lily. I don't watch Z Nation. Chipper Smith. Would you rather be a savior or have to be someone who had to provide for them? That's a good question. But I guess he's selected. So let me throw you guys another curveball. Is Daryl comic book Carl? I know everyone thinks that Negan has this weird infatuation with Carl, and you don't scare me, kid, all those things. But let's remember, so Daryl is not in the comic book. So to me, it seems like Negan has taken the liking to Daryl the same way in the comic book that he takes the liking to Carl. So I think Carl's arc's going to change. I do think he's going to do some. I think Carl's going to do some killing, but I don't think you're going to see this long, drawn-out relationship with Carl and Negan. So Kingdom Hearts, pretty sure Maggie. He thinks Maggie's going to have a miscarriage. What do you guys think? Possibly? Daisy's like, my mind is blown by that. Hey, I'm throwing some theories out there for you guys. I'm trying. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to blow your mind. Come on, dude. Pro gamer. Please don't type stupid stuff like that in chat. Just annoying, man. We're not here to indulge your fantasies. We're actually here to talk about Walking Dead. Daryl's going to say, yeah, he will. I think he's going to say it eventually, but he's going to have to see somebody else about to get Lucille'd. Somebody wants to know if I improvise on my live stream. I do. I write a few notes that we talk about, but a lot of it is just kind of interacting with you guys, reading some of your comments, and then just whatever. All right, let's see a few more questions here. We'll be pretty casual, as I said before. We'll do this as sort of a debriefing, a little bit of unwinding after The Walking Dead. We all get charged up, and then we have our ideas we want to compare. So just some things to bounce off of you guys, and then we'll look at some of your theories, some of your predictions as well too. Blake wants another birthday shout out. What's going on? Marcos Guzman says Rosita greater than Maggie. I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you. That's not always the most popular opinion. So, Sherry, let's talk about her for a minute. Pretty legit. You guys think Sherry is, you think she's trying to help Daryl? You believe what she says, or you think she's starting to get that Helsinki syndrome and actually developing a relationship with Negan? I mean, it would be a shocker, right, if she's like really in on this stuff. Becca wants to know, what were your thoughts on the falling zombie? I thought it was awesome. I thought it's one of those small details they do that, the car drives off the bridge and those zombies aren't leaping over the side of the bridge. They actually had a nice hole they could just kind of fall over. And it just so happened to happen whenever Dwight was there. That was also, I finally got to see, what's up, El Carnal? Happy birthday. What I'm enjoying is these pictures that they took and they posted on AMC's site about a month ago. I'm starting to enjoy seeing where all of them are now. The bloody footprints was an example of it. It's like I've been wondering, where did those footprints come from? And then tonight I see the episode and it makes sense to me. So I hope they continue to do this, like in between seasons. They just take these pictures and just randomly post them on their site. Like last week it was the pasta strainer, it was the wind chimes. So seeing these different things, just I think it's pretty cool. I think AMC did a really good job of that. So Amber says she thinks that Sherry's legit. Leslie, I don't think she is helping Daryl. Huh, interesting. So we got, Michelle says, I think she wants to help. So a lot of back and forth on this. I don't think we've gotten enough of Sherry yet to trust her fully. And we know, when you start to trust somebody, sometimes you can be surprised on this show. Let's see. Hey Matt, Keels, do you think Dwight will join Rick's group? Yes, definitely. Well, Rick's the only group that can help him. If he's ever going to get his, that was a rough scene. I mean, what he subjects Dwight to now. I mean, let's talk about the Dwight scene. I'm going to keep it kind of PG rated. I don't want to go through line for line of everything he said. Um, I'm, if you guys will watch my videos, I'm just not going to be out there and throw a whole bunch of profanities out there just for the sake of doing. Every once in a while, I get a little rant, but we got to talk about the show, so we'll just kind of be real with it. The scene where he offers Dwight a chance to get back with Sherry for a day, and then he offers, and this is where you guys know where Negan stands. He believes in having wives. He believes in indulging, but it's got to be free will. And he even told Dwight that, and I think they showed a little bit of that from the comic book Negan, where he said, "Hey, you go to the bar, and you can get whatever you want as long as she says yes. So you can't go there and force yourself on anybody." And Dwight says no, of course. And then he's like, "Okay, I just offered you this, and you got a problem, since Eugene did the bite." But Dwight seems to be deeper and smarter than we give him credit for. I think you see Dwight and you see him as a henchman, and he's a step ahead of Negan, to be honest with you. Negan is a step ahead of everybody else, and Dwight is already thinking, he's testing me. If he thinks that I'm still interested in Sherry, then he's going to make it worse. So he turns him down. Absolutely. Gerald Everett knows exactly where I'm going with this. I'm reading a few of the comments. So he knew that he had to say no, and then he was looking for a reason out, and he's like, "Hey, I'm going to go take care of this for you." So he wants to prove to Negan he is 100% loyal, because I think he knows if Negan sees that weakness, even if it's Sherry, Negan will kill Sherry if he thinks that Dwight is not giving up on it. The thing is, and I've never personally been in a zombie apocalypse, but here's Negan's deal. Negan doesn't love anybody. When you love in this world, at the current state it's in, then you have a weakness. People can take things away from you that you love. Rick loves Carl, right? Maggie loves Glenn. And Negan doesn't get too attached to anybody. So you can't really take anything away from him right now that he's going to miss. Everybody else, we've seen that weakness. Yeah, hey, we're going deep tonight. I mean, we are going to give a complete psychoanalysis. And I'll emphasize the psycho part of that. Some people think Daryl and Dwight will be whisperers. No. Jada Smith says Dwight is a copycat. So, a few more comments. We got about a couple hundred people jumping in here as well too. If you guys just logged on, two reminders. I'll throw it in here a couple times. We talk about them, read some more comments. So number one, if you guys could slap the like button for me. Number two, once this video goes live, once again, if you guys can check it out when it goes live and leave your comments or your questions. Even if we answered your question, just leave it in the comments below. Once it's live, everything will be on. And one more recap, and then we'll get to some more questions. We'll probably do this weekly, just a chance to get together and sort of talk about the episode a little bit. It's kind of a delayed reaction video. That's what we should call it, delayed reaction. You're never going to see me doing a crying video, oh my God, this happened, but we will get together. It's going to be some good group chat. So, but keep the questions coming. Boba Tea Shop owner says, Kills, could you see Carol getting her comic book death? I don't know. I don't see Carol getting a death anytime soon. I thought Carol might be suicidal, but now that she's starting to make little puppy eyes with Ezekiel, I think she's going to be around a little bit longer. I mean, he knocks on the door and says, "Hey, you like to see my pomegranate?" And then she gives him a little smile. It's all about the pomegranate. Are they going to kill off Rosita? That is free Syria. I hope not. Ever. I definitely don't want to see Rosita get her comic book death. Please no. That might be worse than the lineup scene. Skylar, I think Daryl will make Dwight stand instead of kneel. I don't think Dwight is going to stand. I think Dwight is going to get away at some point. Once he feels like Cher's at a good enough point and she's safe. Ronnie says the egg sandwich looked good until he added the eggs. Okay. It wasn't a egg sandwich until he added the eggs. You confused me with that one. Angel Diaz says I got a new subscriber. Thanks. Welcome to the 999 team. We got a good group of people here. What do you mean not a pomegranate? What are you talking about, Anna? It was a pomegranate. It was not an apple. Because he said you got to try one of these. Braden wants to know what was Rosita's comic book death. Spoiler, 3, 2, there you go. People are typing in chat already. Yeah, she got her head chopped off. Yeah, there's a lot of times they've used the A, but I don't think that's what it stands for. I don't know if they'll elaborate with Daryl. Oh boy, paralysis gaming. I love when people just come in and they type something really random and annoying. That's like the fastest way to get blocked. It was a pomegranate. I don't know who said. Yeah, it's definitely a pomegranate. Not answering that question. Yeah, that kind of. They are sweet surrounded by sour and bitter. Moneyball or kills. Do you think they will end the show when Rick dies? We're a long way away from that. We're 3 seasons away from even asking that question. Next question. Plot twist. Pomegranate killed Glenn. A for Alexandria or for ass kicker, which one kills? No, the A, I think the A is for asshole. I think they have these codes of what people did, and I think in their mind, Daryl's branded because he was being an asshole because he interrupted Negan. Just putting it out there bluntly. That's the rumor anyway. I don't know if they'll elaborate on that. What we're going to need to do is take a look at some of the other prisoners and see what their letters are and see if we can sort of piece it together. You know, maybe shoplifter or whatever. I don't know. Jaywalker. See if we see any J's. And be like, okay, Daryl, it's an A, and somebody has a J for jaywalking. You like walked in front of Negan's path. When Noah died, it was sad, from Marcos. I didn't really... I guess I wasn't that attached to Noah. Amber says, I can't wait for next week's episode. Ready to see Alexander and Hilltop. I don't know if we're going to see Hilltop next week. Jason Broadway. Just stopping by. I love your videos, Kills. Thanks, Jason. Good to see you as well, too, man. So this won't be super long. We'll do another 5 or 10 minutes, do a little bit more Q&A. But some of our, what's up, Diva Ninja? Thank you. Glad to have you on board. As I said before, it's just a little bit of Q&A. We'll debrief the episode a little bit. They're not going to be, 2-hour long runnings. We'll do 45 minutes to 60 minutes in most cases, depending on how many topics we got to talk about. Next week, we're going to have a lot of stuff to talk about. Moneyballer. Kills. What do you think the next big death is going to be? I don't know if it's going to be big. Maybe the next one might end up being Spencer. I think Richard and Spencer are the next two that are going to go. Richard is definitely going to die. That's going to set off Ezekiel and also Benjamin. There's a story still to be told with that Benjamin guy in the kingdom. Let's see. A few more questions here. Something dramatic. This is Quintel. Something dramatic happens next week, by the way. Rick looked. Yeah, I think Michonne might be walking on some dangerous area. Hopefully she's not shooting at saviors, because that's going to get her in some trouble. Yeah, next week will be the Rick transferring of power. So a little bit of what's going to go on next week is we know, or we think we know, Negan's going to come get half his stuff. Rick will transfer power. Daryl will be flaunted around. Hey, this is my new toy. And Rick is going to have to carry Lucille around for Negan as his punishment. It's just a reminder. So Eric thinks Michonne is gone by mid-season or the season finale. She's not safe. I think Negan's afraid of her. She's the one that spoke up and says, we understand. Tommy Carlson says he thinks Maggie is going to kill Negan eventually. Interesting. Obsessed with Top. Do you think Ezekiel and Carol will get together? Yes. Carol becomes comic book Michonne. Daryl becomes comic book Carl. Blake Kills. Do you think that Sasha will be like Holly from the TV show? No. I don't think so. Amy Beer's favorite song is Ice Ice Baby. It should be. It's a great song. That's funny if you guys missed my live stream. Yeah, I might have sung something. Yeah, Assassin King says he acts like he's transferring power to Rick. Rick will eventually get it back together. I don't think next week is the week he's going to get it back together. If it is, it's going to be toward the end of the episode. There's going to be a little bit more breaking point for Rick before he, kind of like Daryl. And then, Daryl and Rick are going to kind of get it back together around the same time, I think. I'm going to call on a couple other people. A lot of the same people are asking questions. So if you guys got something you want to talk about or you just want me to read it out in a video, leave it there. I will holler it out. Becca, when do you think Tara will return to find out Denise was killed? I think next week. I think we will see a little bit of terror next week. Charles, I think the door is going to get unlocked again and Daryl is going to have to hide in the room. Yeah, Daryl did not do himself any favors, that's for sure. Leslie says Rick feels there's no choice but to work with Negan. Yeah, he knows that's the only way he can keep his group safe for now. I think Rick understands that better than anybody else. I do think, though, him driving away, the seeing that walker walk up when he was looking in the rearview mirror. You guys are funny. Do you remember how the song went, the one they tortured Daryl? Easy Street? No, I'm not going to sing it because people are already having nightmares about it. Music has a way, if it's a torture song like that, I think they picked. Oh, here I'm gonna blow your mind with this. Something really jumped in my head. Let's see how many people are paying attention. So the funny thing with music and song, really, come on, guy. I can't believe this guy just jumped in here and started typing that. So everybody's kind of got their majors. So I do a lot of studying in psychology. And one of the things that we've always tried to do is music therapy, right? So we'll get off topic a little bit and I'll tell you a little bit of what I think with this. So with music therapy, you can hear a song and show an image, and a lot of times if you show that image enough times, the song will trigger the image, right? So for example, you show somebody a song they've never heard before. Because usually if you hear a song, like think of a song right now, you probably have a memory of that song. So let's say I started singing a song you never heard and you were looking at a certain picture, and then you played it again and you showed the picture. Eventually that music will strike a chord that's going to make you think of a certain thing. And I'm going to give you an example of this. So if you heard that song Easy Street and it was on Sesame Street or something, then you're going to have these good images of that song. So now you hear this song Easy Street and you feel a negative connotation to that song. It probably was a happy song. I'm going to give you an example of that. There is a Good Vibrations. So there's a Sunkist commercial, right? You guys know what Sunkist is. And there's, I'm thinking of good vibrations. It's a happy song. It's always been a happy song. You see it on television. I'm going to see if people are still following me in this, because this is going to get super deep. When we do a 12 o'clock midnight that chat, it's going to get super psychological. Trust me. All right. So I got a few people still with me. So good vibrations. I'm thinking of good vibrations. She's giving me the excitations. Good vibrations. Whatever. You guys get it, right? Okay. I'm going to challenge you guys. You really want to see this. Look it up. You can look it up after the video. So, all right. So play along with me. Check out the song Good Vibrations by the Beach Boys. And then after you do that, I want you to go watch a scene from a movie called Vanilla Sky with Tom Cruise. And there's a scene where they play the exact same song. And if you hear the song afterwards, you're going to create this dark image. Like, you'll hear this song Good Vibrations, and when I saw Vanilla Sky, I could not even listen to the song without getting this dark, deep, mysterious type of thing. It totally changed my perspective of the song. So anyway, I know it's kind of a roundabout way to get to the point. So that's kind of that torture scene with Daryl. So I'm telling you, get a chance, just go do it. Trust me on this one. You don't have to trust me on everything, but trust me on the whole good vibration thing. And if people are watching this video in playback, just give it a shot. It's crazy stuff, man. Crazy. Yeah, the movie I think was a remake of what Abrir Los Ojos or something. It was like it was a spin off from a Spanish movie. So it is. It's creepy. Okay, cool. All right. It was. It was like torture. But they picked the perfect song for it. It needed to be something that they know would kind of irk us hearing it over and over and over again, and it worked. Oh boy, we're getting the yeah, exactly. So Mr. O'Shaw knows the movie. And actually, I don't want to go off. We're talking about Walking Dead, but I don't want to go too Vanilla Sky. But I think that's the last thing that was said in the movie, wasn't it? Where she said, "Open your eyes." It's pretty deep, man. Pretty deep and mysterious. It's funny stuff. All right, I'm going to read a few more questions. We got another 6 or 7 minutes here for the stream. We'll keep it. We'll hard stop at 1 hour. Since we started at 11:15, we'll stop it at 12:15 because I want to read a few more of your comments, and we got just a hella ton of people here right now. Um, used to love the song "Sound of Silence." They remade it, and that actually is another song, "The Sound of Silence," that I've seen in multiple different formats. It's originally a Simon and Garfunkel song, but yeah, that's one of those that's universal too. It could be, well, I don't know if that's ever going to be a happy song anyway. It's probably pretty much kind of, there's a dark side to it. What's up, Momo is cool. Let's see. Reading a few more questions. Charles Potter, 999, do you think Maggie will try to kill Daryl? Absolutely not. No way. Maggie was very emotional when they loaded Daryl up. She wouldn't have been that emotional and say, hey, leave him here. I want to kill him myself. Maggie does not blame Glenn, and I think they were pretty obvious with that because she took the blame for it. There's several people that are blaming themselves right now. Maggie said, "You guys are all here because of me." It is, right? So Moneyballer actually just went and watched the. I don't remember what he was yelling. I think Tom Cruise was like in the lobby yelling technical support or something like that. Yeah, I really dug into a lot of those psychological movies for a while. Kind of like The Wall. Yeah, it's a real psychological movie. She does. She blames herself. Rick's gonna blame himself. Um, Daryl's gonna blame himself. Let's see. Carson Cook. Do you think Daryl will ever join Negan? Temporarily, possibly. Skylar says, "Do you think Kingdom and Rick's group will team up?" I do. I think there has to be a catalyst for that to happen. I think the Savior's coming back, killing Richard, is going to give them incentive, and maybe Jesus will be the one to broker a deal between Rick's group and the Kingdom. It's hard. I mean, Dr. Polar Bear brought up a good point. If I was being tortured with a song, I'd start singing it to freak other people they're trying to torture. I think it's hard to say what you would actually do in that moment. I mean, this is serious torture. I don't think it's something Daryl can turn on and off. I mean, he's obviously feeling a lot of guilt. And let's give it up for Norman Reedus. Norman Reedus is not my favorite character on the show. I don't dislike him, but I'm not a Daryl fanboy per se. But I think he did a really good job of acting tonight. I think both Andrew Lincoln in the first episode and actually they're like my all-stars. So far, I thought Andrew Lincoln did a great job in the first episode. I thought Carol did a really good job in episode 2, and I think Norman Reedus did a good job tonight. Heather J, do you think Dwight's watching Who's the Boss was significant or a coincidence? I think it was. I think it was very, very significant. Another one of those hidden things, and that actually will be in my video tomorrow. So, no, they put it in there on purpose because Negan's the boss. How do you think they will kill Richard? Um, Feed him to pigs? I mean, that would be ironic, right? Shoot him and feed him to pigs. Shadow, kills you think Carl killed a bunch of saviors. I do think Carl killed a bunch of saviors. I just hadn't figured out how it's all going to play out yet. Robin says, Norman Reedus is freaking awesome. He nailed it tonight. And that's in caps. So you know. You know that's serious. Jason Burns. Collapsible Hearts Club is Easy Street if you guys want to look it up. Charles, do you like Dwight or Daryl better? That's a good question. I mean, I like Daryl because we followed the group the whole time. But I understand Dwight. I didn't really hate Dwight after he shot Denise. I kind of understood him to begin with. And I don't think he meant to. Remember, even Dwight said it tonight, like, I'm getting better at this. Dwight was probably aiming for Daryl's chest, and he missed. He wasn't there to try to shoot Denise in the eye, but at the same time, he works for Negan. He's got to do his thing. He wasn't there to kill anybody. Jay Wood, it's a small world would be torture for any of us to hear that. Even the ride at Disney World, there's like a It's a Small World ride there. That's creepy. A few more questions, and then we'll wrap it up. We got time for 3 or 4 more questions, and then I'll hang around for a few minutes and just type in the comments. Gerald, do you think Negan and Alpha will team up when she shows up on the show? It's so early. Let's wait until we actually see the Whispers. Maybe we get a glimpse of them at the very end of the season. Hey, that torture scene tonight though it'd have been crazy if they would have killed Daryl. I mean, it definitely would have shocked everybody, the viewing audience. We couldn't have handled that tonight. Yeah, it is. Peace out, Shadow. Thanks, man. So, Juzu Kathy 999. Love you for being a fan of Walking Dead. Well, thank you. I am glad all of you guys are fans of Walking Dead. And thanks everyone for popping in here. So, one more question. Yeah, because we still got to get through All Out War. Um, I agree with you, Amy. I don't think the Whisper is going to show up until season. It's going to be a while. But I do think that they're going to plant just little hints and clues here or there. They're going to give us a little bit of foreshadowing. I don't think it's too early for them to let us know that there's other groups out there. And one last question. Let's see. Somebody I haven't called on yet. Manny E. When Negan asked Daryl, "Who are you?" I was low-key hoping they would say, "I'm Batman." Great comment. Oh, you know what? Here, I don't usually promote. If you guys are Batman fans, the funniest video ever. I mean, I'm serious. Especially if you watch like a real deep, heartfelt episode. Um, it probably got more videos than the Batman trailer. Look up Batman and Joker interrogation, and this guy is playing both roles, but it is absolutely freaking hilarious. So I don't know if that's the exact. You'll know it when you see it. But Batman Joker interrogation scene. You'll probably two things will probably pop up. Probably be the real one and it'll be the fake one. Watch the fake one and you'll be rolling. If you're a Batman fan. If you're not, if you don't get it, then don't waste your time with it. But yeah, if you like that stuff, just check it out. I'm giving you guys all kind of neat clues tonight. So we'll leave that on a positive note. And who do we got? We got Golden Duck. Golden Duck wants to know, how do you think Negan would die, or what's the most suitable death for Negan? No idea, because Negan's not dead. I don't think they have any intention of killing him. I think he's the kind of person they keep around for a little while. So, awesome stuff. Look, once again, thanks to all of you. It's been amazing summer. Absolutely, we'll do this live feed every week. There's going to be live feeds during the week. Tomorrow, we'll have some hidden clues that are going to be out there. We'll also do our predictions, our spoilers, so if you guys can check those out. Some of the gaming fans, you guys know I'll be playing a little bit of Walking Dead Road to Survival. I'm going to be doing a little bit of No Man's Land. I'm going to be doing Telltale Season number 3, so we get to see the journey of Clementine. We'll do some of that live. We'll do some of it in broadcast. But we've got a lot of Walking Dead fans from different backgrounds. So some people are hardcore gamers. Some people are from spoiler sites. Some people are from the TV show. So thanks to all of you. This is what makes this channel so awesome. I like to come and host it and talk about it, but it really is the interaction with each and every one of you. So thank you for everybody tuning in. You guys are amazing. If there's anything that you want to ask it in a video. You guys can shoot me a message. And also, if you want to follow me on Kick, it's KILZHOT. It's Kilzhot. So check that out as well, too. I'll leave it in the comments. If you guys just kind of walking around, you have a random Walking Dead question. I get a lot of comments on Kick, so I'll try to get to it. But if I don't answer for a couple days, I'm not probably going to immediately respond to it, but I will get to you eventually. Thanks again. You guys are amazing. Appreciate you showing up. Look for more videos tomorrow, and I'll hang around for another 5 minutes or so. We'll do a little bit of Q&A in chat. But you guys have a good night, and 90 minutes next week. That's what's up. So thanks again. See ya.